Courtney was trying to calm Zoey as best she could.
Court, I'm fine. I'm just so happy. These are tears of joy.
Zoey was so relieved that her prayers had been answered. His test results were negative. Blaine didn't have HIV.
Good morning, Dr. Dexter.
Hello, Dr. Dexter. So good to have you back. Dr. Dexter, we heard the good news. Congratulations. Blaine walked towards his office with a smile and his hands in the pockets of his white coat. On the way, many familiar faces he passed called out to him in greeting. Today was his first day back at St. Mary's since receiving his negative HIV test results. Blaine, welcome back. David walked over and hugged Blaine. Dr. Dexter, we missed you so much. Jose was so excited that he immediately jumped up and hugged Blaine, slapping him hard on the back as he did so. Man, you really scared us. Blaine hugged both men back, thanking them for their brotherly affection.
Dr. Dexter, it's so great to have you back with us,
Ramona said, her voice cracking with emotion. Then she burst into tears and hugged Blaine tightly. In the crowd, Zoey couldn't help but wipe her tears away. As Blaine shook hands with yet another staff member, he spotted Zoey at the back of the crowd. After everyone had left, he walked over to where Zoey stood waiting for him. Zoey looked a little uncomfortable.
You seem a little embarrassed by all the adoration and attention.
It's not that I'm embarrassed, I just feel that all this praise isn't necessary. I'm just like any other doctor, I was just doing my job. Blaine habitually put his hands into his pockets as he said this. Zoey extended her right hand toward him.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on what? Blaine asked in confusion. He stretched out his hand and shook hands with her.
Congratulations on returning to your beloved profession, of course.
She smiled. Thank you, Zoey. Zoey turned around and walked away, heading down the long corridor. Suddenly, a charming voice called out to him.
Blaine!
It was Sophia. Sophia intimately held Blaine's hand and apologized.
Sorry, Blaine. Have you been mad that I didn't come to see you these past few weeks?
Sophia, no need to explain so much to me. I didn't care at all. Whether it was because Sophia was too busy or because she was panicking, Blaine didn't want to discuss the matter any further. He really just didn't care. The moment Blaine got off work, he saw Max sneaking out of the hospital doors from afar and entering the pet store next to the hospital. Blaine tilted his head to take a look, then without even thinking about it, followed Max into the store. Blaine found him standing on his tiptoes beside a tall fish tank. Blaine squatted down beside him and imitated his actions, looking at the little red fish in the tank. What are you looking at? Do you want to buy this fish? Yes. The little guy nodded heavily. Then his gaze became more serious as he watched the fish swim in circles.
Dr. Dexter, tell me, which fish do you think will live longer than me?
Max's words stunned Blaine for a moment. His throat was a bit dry. None of them will live longer than you, Max. Max chuckled as he shook his head a bit sadly.
Dr. Dexter, I know you are lying to me.
Dr. Dexter is a doctor. If the doctor says that the fish can't outlive you, then they won't outlive you. Max didn't respond to Blaine. Instead, he asked the shop's owner,
Sir, do you have fish that are in good health?
The owner looked puzzled. Little man, all of our fish are very well taken care of. Max stuck his head over and reminded the shopkeeper,
Remember, I need a fish that can't get sick.
Blaine helped the little guy settle the debt. When the owner collected the money, he couldn't help but praise. Sir, your son is really cute. Blaine lowered his head and looked down at the little boy standing beside his feet. He reached out his hand and touched the warm little head and smiled. You misunderstood. I'm not his father. Really? I would never have guessed. You two really do look alike, the man replied, clearly surprised. Blaine smiled but didn't say anything more. He figured this was just the false flattery of a salesman. He led Max out of the store. Max followed him into the hospital with the small fish tank in one hand and Blaine's big hand in the other. Max, can you tell me why you bought this fish? Blaine asked.
It's for my mommy. I want the fish to keep her company.
As the little guy spoke, his footsteps suddenly quickened. Blaine was very curious about Max's mother. He wanted to meet the woman who had raised such a sensible and smart child. Looking down at the little guy, Blaine smiled and asked, Hey, Max, do you want to bring Dr. Dexter to meet your beautiful mommy?
Hi, Zoey here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Rekindled Heartache now.